let's see what are the non-technical challenges. Number one, the financial challenge. We need about 6.5 billion US dollars for generation expansions and storage till 2030. In coming 5 years, we have to find 6.5 billion US dollars for generation expansion and storage. And for transmission network expansion and system upgrading, it has estimated about US dollar 2 billion. So these were taken from our generation plan, approved generation plan. So I will show you some details. They are public documents. There is a cost for distribution network improvements as well. And CB facing a funding issue. So we need funds for this, because most of these expansions and investments should be done by the government, the utility. So there are funding agents like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, JICA, like funding agent. But for some investments, those funding agents has committed funds, but majority of the plans, the funds are not committed. So let's see next slide. This is of that generation in 2025, 2026 up to 2030, 2025 to 2030. So this gives a breakdown. So I am not taking time to explain this. This is the investments required for transmission network expansions. So the summary of that is given here. We need about 750 million US dollars for battery energy storage systems and 800 million US dollars for pump hydro storage systems that will come after 2030. And for synchronous condensers and some other for system upgrades to make system more and more smarter. So we need about 175 million US dollars. With generation expansion and these about 10 billion US dollars investments, Sri Lankan rupees, that is about 3 trillions. It's a massive amount. So for this battery energy storage system, first one, 100 megawatt base. This 100 megawatt, it should be 400 megawatt hour base at Colonna. So the ADB has committed funds for this one. So this tender is already floated, I think. So it will come. But this one, the 100 megawatt, 400 megawatt hour, it will southern region in the land of PTS power. That power plant will be removed. And then there is another 150 megawatt be tendered as 10 into 16 scattered battery energy storage systems. They will be tender supply service. The CB will pay for the capacity charge of this battery energy storage system. So private sector can invest this. But most of these power plants come in after later. But the pump storage system, so CB was not yet able to get the funding option. So none of the funding agents have committed funding. But out of this also, only funding is available for first one. So ADB has committed to give this fund. So this is massive. So this is done by our central Dr. Andala Virs. He say the central bank says estimated US dollar 10.85 billion US dollars is required for implementing NDCs, mean national determined commitments until 2030. So these national determined commitments mean what we have committed to reduce gases. So in this commitment, the main part is 70% renewable energy target. So this is matched with what I said earlier. So our central bank governor has confirmed that in coming 5 years, we need about 10.85 billion US dollar investments to accommodate these things, right? It's a huge challenge. That is a financial challenge. So this I see this as the major challenge facing. So let's see, discuss about this later in the discussion and Q&A session as well. So next, non-technical challenges, implementation challenges. So number one, there are a few here. Land acquisition. So you know about 2 weeks back, the groundbreaking ceremony of Siabalandu 100 megawatt solar power plant was done with H. the president about 2 weeks back. But groundbreaking was done, so implementation may be done within another 1 year or 1.5 years time. But land for this 100 megawatt land-based power plant, land acquisition process, Sustainable Energy Authority took about 8 years. So that was confirmed by the Sustainable Energy Authority. So everyone know the power sector, for the land acquisition for this 100 megawatt power plant took about 8 years. Then those kind of implementing challenges are there. And other one is policy inconsistency. We talk about 100% renewable energy in 2030. But then we've seen a policy saying that 80% renewable energy in 2030. That it reduced to 70% renewable energy in 2030, year 2020. So most of them were in the manifestos of presidents in those time. This 70% renewable energy in 2030 came as the policy with general policy guidelines. This is the policy. But because of this policy inconsistency, a lot of plants were not come to the picture, but a lot of unsolicited proposals came showing these targets. The Adani's proposals are one good example. So they came to install about 600 megawatt wind power plants in northern area. But you know that their price was about 3 times the price of our wind power plant is Mana. And it is about 3 times the same company giving wind energy to the Indian grid. The Adani gives wind power to about, as I can remember, about 3 cents to 3.5 cents US dollars. But their proposal was to give around 8 point something, 8 point close to 9 US dollar cents, almost 3 times. But those were not happened. But because of their interventions, our local entrepreneurs, our local companies who develop wind power plants were not able to go to that side. They reserved some lands there and blocked the wind power developments in that area. So, but our professionals, sector professionals, proposed to have clean energy in 2030. In year 2020, there were a lot of arguments and discussions. We propose a 70% clean energy. The better word should be not clean energy, it should be low carbon energy. This is what the sector professionals proposed. Right, let's see what our achievements. We have achieved almost 100% electrification. We are one of the few countries in the region, in Asia, who have achieved this target. And also, if you take this is the installed capacity of power in Sri Lanka. We have 43% installed capacity of non-conventional renewable energies and 1,500 megawatt of large hydros, that is 23%. And altogether, the installed capacity of renewable energies is about 66%. It is massive. The installed capacity is 66%. And if we get a breakdown of renewable energies, you see the 45% is rooftop solar, and about 4% ground mounted and 4% wind. And large hydro is about 34%. So this is the firm energy option in renewables. Though this solar share is 45%, the installed capacity, this is installed capacity, the installed capacity is 45%. The energy solar power plants is about 15%. So that is because of the energy curve, that is available in daytime. It is start from zero and can coming down. So as energy, we can, with this 50% solar, we get about more than, now we get, I think, more than 15% of solar energy share. So this is the annual energy generation by source in year 2023 and year 2024. So in year 2023, this is this orange color is major hydro, and this blue color is NCRE, non-conventional renewable energies, mainly wind and solar. In 2023, about this is energy share. Previous slide was the installed capacity, but this is energy share in the year, throughout the year. About 50% is by energy. In 2024, it is about, this is 23, and about 55% in 2024, including DELECO contribution. By 55% is of renewable energy share is there. Right. But in 2025, we may expect 57 to 58%, maybe it may be about 55%, because that depends on the how the rainfall will have this, how we have inflows in major hydropower plants. In last year, in 2024, we didn't get the drought actually. We had throughout the year. Because of that, you see that though the demand growth is 22 to 2023 to 2024, so still the energy share for hydropower plant has increased because we had enough rainfall. Right. This is an in one. So I got this from a professional. One of our engineers shared document slide from globally recognized web who provide statistics. So not all the countries here. So that particular engineer wanted to show that is. So if you compare that, you can see this is the low carbon share as a percentage of energy. When we talk about low carbon, the renewable is the main one. Then LNG is also considered as low carbon one, and also some nuclear power plants as well. But Sri Lanka is among these European countries. You see, this is in 2021. Okay, we have these statistics till 2021. This is 2021. But you see our local, our regional countries, Malaysia, Thailand, this is Bangladesh, where we are. So other thing is this low carbon share of Sri Lanka has taken only by the renewable energy. If we had LNG in place, fuel oil we are using, we'll be in the top in these countries. So this is the share of electricity production from solar energy. This is also till 2021. You see, this is the world average in 2021. Now the values. So in this year, you can see Sri Lanka here, right? So there are local, our regional countries, Indonesia, Pakistan. So for those countries here, so India is somewhere here. So Sri Lanka is in a good position, but we have come to top because of that in this 2020 to 2021. Our demand was very low because of Corona effect. So because of the lockdown and those kind of things, our demand was low. Therefore, the renewable energy share is high. So in the 2025, we expect about more than 15% share in solar. Now we have about 2,000 megawatts of rooftop solar and ground-mounted solar also. So think about where we are when compared to other countries. Right, this is how this, so I need to move this one, and I do it, right. So this is, you see the rooftop solar installed capacity in megawatts, right, rooftop solar capacity in megawatts. We started rooftop solar by net metering scheme in year 2008. From 2008 to 2023, in 15 years, we have reached about 6.5%. In megawatt, that is about 652 megawatts. That is in 15 years, from 2008 to 2023. In 2024 and till June 2025, in 1.5 years, that value has more than doubled. In megawatts, in end of 2023, we had about 650 megawatts. Now it is more than 1,400 megawatt in CEB. With LECO and ground-mounted solar, it will be about 2,000 megawatts. So it is, as a share, it is more than 14%. Let's see how this miracle was happened in 1.5 years. In 15 years, this much. In 1.5 years, it's double. So you can see that the renewable energy, so how rooftop solar energy additions in every month. This see that in year 2023, with the beginning of 2024, the monthly additions are increasing. You can see 20 megawatt in this month and 30 megawatt, 40 megawatt. In November 2024, 95 megawatts in that particular month. And then it started to reduce down, go down. So we will see how it happened. So this was the duck curve I showed you at the beginning. So you can see the stomach of this duck has been fatter. So this thin fat, this duck till 2024 has become fat within a year. You see, that is because of what I showed you in previous slide. So let's see how that happened. What is the reason? Here you see the electricity tariff. This is the average electricity tariff. So there was not electricity tariff increase from 2012 to 2022 in about 10 to 11 years. So we didn't get electricity price increase. But after Corona, after intervention of IMF mainly, the government in 2023 increased the electricity, the average power price by about 3 times. It is a tariff shock, actually. So they didn't give a smooth increase of tariff, but after about 10-15 years, they gave a tariff shock. And also, in the meantime, in the same year, the soil tariff was increased. Earlier, only 22 rupees was paid for solar, but this year, 37 rupees. Simple payback period of this scenario is less than 3 years. Then all people who understood this, who realized this invested to generation, and within this 1.5 year, there is a huge increase, huge spike of penetration of solar power to the system. But even though the generation people invested for generation and more solar was added, the investment should be done by the government or utility was not happened. The system expansions, the inertia, the synthetic inertia, some synchronous condensers, and to accommodate these solar systems, a lot of things should have been done. Our grid, our power system more and more smarter. But those investment should have been done by the utility, ultimately from the government in previous scenario. But as per Dr. Nandalal's article, it is a huge challenge. But in future, if you do these investments, second to the present scenario, these investments should be added to your electricity bill. It should be required from the tariff. Right. Let's see if the cost of one electricity unit is increased by just 1 rupee, the impact on the national economy will be 16 billion rupees per year. This is how, so the total electricity units consumed country is 16 billion. Our country consumes 16 billion electricity units per year. If you save 1 rupee from each unit we are generate, if you can cost by 1 rupee, we can save 16 billion. See how many things we can do by 16 billions. So by 16 billion rupees, we can buy all these things. 20 numbers of CT scan machines and 10 numbers of MRI scan machine and 10 units of PET scanners and 500 kidney dialysis machines. If you know about the health sector, so we have very little number of these equipment actually. The people suffering from not having enough facilities in the health sector. And not only that, so by this 16 billion, we can, if we save 1 rupee, we can save 16 billion rupees. So we can, a highway similar to Gotnayaka highway in 3 years, if you save 1 rupee, right? This is the impact of electricity, the energy to the national economy. So this show you the dispatch order of our thermal power plants. This is left side is before COVID and right side is the present one. So in last month, the dispatch order. You see the electricity cost has been tripled. In Lakvijay power plant, this is only energy cost, not the capacity cost. So in Lakvijay power plants, it is about 8 rupees per kilowatt hour. Now it is about 19 rupees. If we take a diesel-driven combined cycle power plant, this is a combined cycle power plant, this one, it is 21, about 22 rupees. So here you can see it is here, it is 61 rupees, 3 times. So we have a lot of avenues to reduce this electricity cost, not by 1 rupee, by many rupees actually. So this is the levelized electricity cost at the customer in Sri Lanka. In 2025, we estimate it is about 34 rupees per kilowatt hour. In US dollar cents, that is 11 US dollar cents, about 11 US dollar cents. But regional average price about 25 KR, that is in US dollar cents, it is about 8. So we should reduce our electricity cost by about 9 to 10 rupees. If you want to compete the regional countries, if you want to attract the investments for energy incentive, we have to reduce the electricity cost. And you see the impact of the electricity cost to the national economy by my previous slide as well. Right, as the solutions, these green colored ones, we run these power plants by fossil fuel oils. So it's a combined cycle plant. The price is little low because of we can use naphtha, but we don't get all the time. But it is running in diesel also. You can see here when it is running with diesel, the cost is 61, 62 rupees. And West Coast power plant here, you can see, and Sobadane power plant, the recently commissioned one in Kerala, PTA. It is a private power plant. It is about 58 rupees. So all these power plants can be converted to LNG. So if we convert this power plant into LNG, we can reduce this cost by 1/3 of this price. So we can decrease by 1/3. For an example, if we use LNG for Subadani power plant, we can reduce this cost below 40 rupees, 35 to 40 rupees. So according to the prices of LNG in global market, Brent, we have calculated, including the transportation cost and cost for infrastructure like FSRU, pipelines, so everything, the cost can be reduced. So then I will show you, this is the electricity energy generation by source in world. Here from 1990 to 2022, you can see what the other people in the world has done. They have started to use coal power plant before 1990, and they have reduced oil power generation, and then they have by natural gas. This natural gas, they use coal, natural gas, nuclear power, hydro like this. But they've used very little amount of oil for power generation. But you see that they still use coal power plant, even large. So I will show you what our scenario next. But I am not telling that we have to construct coal power plants. So we have a policy that no more coal. A few years back, a policy decision was taken. I think that has been presented to COP21 or 22 as well. But this is what world has done. So, but in our plans, the coal was there from 1980s, but it came very later. Let's see what this is the energy generation by source, the generation mix of Asia Pacific region. You can see it is also same. So very little amount of oil and natural gas. Using wind and solar, that variable renewable energies. They also started to absorb more and more variable renewables in around 2010, 2005 like area, but we also think this time. They very gradually and very carefully, their share of variable renewable energies, so up to this level. But they mainly use LNG, coal, and large hydro. So this is our curve. See how ugly is this? Though we have coal power plants from 1980s, we have started our coal power plant from 2012. After about 5-6 years, we have got a decision, no more coal in our country. And fortunately, we have hydro, large power plants. See how much oil. If you think about, if you consider about renewable energies, so in future, in 2025, our graph will be like this. As I explained you in last 1.5 years, 2 years, some increase was there. But we have to replace this oil immediately by the transition for LNG. But some people are telling that going for LNG will not reduce electricity price. Sure. So as a sector professional, bring LNG, reduce by a considerable amount your electricity bill. So that actually they manipulating and they showing some other scenarios based on the policies and some unrealistic things. So they do some calculations and show that bringing the LNG will not reduce the electricity price. That is not the truth. Right, and also you have to keep a room. We have to green hydrogen also. The hydrogen can be used as a fuel, and also hydrogen cells can use for energy storage as well. So we have to keep room for these emerging technologies as well, in addition to renewables. So our electricity policy target is 70% renewable energy in 2030. Yes, we should go for 70% renewable energy. There are technical challenges. We have solutions for all these technical challenges. The reliability issues like sunny effect, we have already solved those things with some short-term solutions. These days, to maintain the system inertia, our system operators dispatch so many power plants, so many rotating power plants, synchronous generators connected to the system, but run with minimum power in sun days. So they connect those power plants to maintain the inertia. And also some power plants like New Lakshapana, the New Lakshapana generators running as synchronous condensers sometimes. The synchronous condenser means that power plant doesn't give active power, that consume active power from the system and give reactive power. And it connects to the system to inertia. So there is a cost there. So for technical challenges, we have solutions. For implementation, like land acquisition, also we may have solutions. We may manage them. But this financial challenge is a real challenge for a country like Sri Lanka. You know the economy of country. So we have to find a huge amount of dollars in coming 5 years. It is a huge challenge. So I gave you a lot of facts and figures. Those facts and figures are not my own figures. They were taken from public documents, from generation plan, and some statistics in our website and such places. So I gave you facts and figures. Professionals and undergraduates who want to be the professionals in this sector think about the financial challenge and think about this policy and get your own judgment about this. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for being patient. It took about, I think, more than 1 hour to this presentation. I think so we can have a discussion now. So now it is open for discussion. So you can start the Q&A session now.
Thank you very much, sir, for that eye-opening session and for sharing your expertise on Sri Lanka's renewable energy roadmap. We will now move on into the Q&A session. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A section and I will direct them to our guest speaker.